Okay, so I've picked my display spot on this particular drag slick. So I'm going to go ahead and start my sanding procedure to get it flat. So as you can see, we got a nice, good display spot right there for us. And when we get it on the car, we're going to set it up just like so to where, oh, that's beautiful. It's just beautiful. See the way that's just beautiful. That's exactly what you want. That in conjunction with all the other techniques gets you your final overall stance. So that's display spot on our rear drag slick. Also, this technique does help out. Say if you're building a model and there's any warpage in your frame or anything like that, your overall final massaging of your display spot can make all four wheels touch the ground, regardless of any warpage or anything that's going on in the model itself. So that's another way to also anchor your model, is to have a display spot on your wheels. So I want to open up the wheel rim video introductory with the idealism that there is no wrong way to go about finding your wheel rim setup for your model. That being said, I have a few ideals of my own to throw out there that might help when this part of the build comes up. I want to give you the suggestion that you can go from box stock wheel all the way to a scratch built wheel rim setup. So that's your spectrum and anything in between. And my number one thing is, to find the best looking set of wheels that I can find for the kit. And 9 times out of 10, I change wheels and rims selection several times throughout the build, just because, one day that set of wheels looks absolutely amazing, and then another day I found one that looks even better. And a lot of times I just go with my gut feeling on the wheel rim setup, which is basically just the visual. How does the overall visual look on the car? Is it the best overall visual that I can come up with after, evaluating all the different sets and selections and whatnot? And then as far as the build goes, I usually narrow it down to maybe 3 or 4 sets, and I'll play back and forth with those sets at different mock-ups, and usually one clear winner will rise above during the mock-up sessions, and that usually is the set that makes it to the final build stage. There again, you know, when you're incorporating design theory, some wheel rim setups are on the car because that's the, you know, the best design as far as in the build goes. You know, it could be for not only an aesthetic purpose, it could be for a design purpose. You know, like when you're thinking wheel rim setups, you got to understand width is a factor, okay, and diameter is a factor, right? Okay, so we're looking for that right wheel ratio setup where, you know, visually it is just absolutely, you know, stunning to look at. And then, of course, I always try to incorporate the, you know, the most unique piece I can. You want to try to put a wheel rim setup on your particular car that, you know, you don't see on other people's builds, you know. So, you know, that's where the total 100% scratch built, you know, setup comes from, because it's totally a one-off set that's unique to that model, which definitely sets your model apart from any other, you know, model. But as you can see around our table here, we have a lot of different wheels and rims and whatnot. You know, different shapes, sizes, colors, a little bit of everything. And usually when you're going through the wheel rim stage, you'll go through you'll have something like this going on, you know, trying to decide. On Snow White here, we finally decided on a wheel rim setup that we're going to go with. And I mean, I've kicked a few ideas back and forth, and right now this is what I'm going to go with because I think it serves the car the best. I'm not saying it's going to stick. I'm just saying right now this is the way it's going. So I'm going to go ahead and show you here. This is our front wheel, which is just really shiny chrome 5-star type rim that comes out of the 99 Silverado Reveal kit with a Burns front runner wheel on it. So right now that one right there, it just speaks to me. A lot of times when I'm picking out wheels on a car, I listen to the ones that speak to me. And this one right here is speaking to me. Now, on the rear wheel, let me go ahead and see if I can set this up on the rear wheel deal here. On the rear wheels, what we have is the chrome piece is the Silverado rim, and then we have the white piece is an inner piece that come off a Dodge Viper kit for our lip, and then we have the Goodyear race and drag slick that I love so much. And you know, we did do our display spot, so you know, it's set up for this particular model. And like I say, you can go on, you can choose wheels all day long. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years to find the right setup, and you can always change them out too. That's one thing about the wheel rim setup, is you could run a set, you know, for a long time, and then later on change the whole wheel rim setup at a later time, you know, when you find a better set that speaks to you more. There is no wrong way to find your wheel rim setup, but there is great variations. There's great amount of options out there. Like I said, everything from box stock wheel rim setup to totally 100% scratch built setup. The modeling world is your oyster. Okay, so dine on it as you please. One quick tip I want to throw out there is grabbing real world items and incorporating into your model is always something that I've done. I want to cover up the thing here, but you can see that this right here is a salad dressing. Okay, so what you do is you take the salad dressing cap off, right? And then under the cap there'll be one of these, which is where the dressing comes out. Pop that out, wash it off, and then you can use this as a scratch built rim. We can put your wheel on it and you can paint it up any way you see fit. Put a center cap in there if you choose. This is another one that I got that I've sanded down, because it actually has a lip on there, which you can use if you want, or you can just sand it down and make it smooth like a regular wheel. Paint it up flat black or gloss black. Put your center cap in there. Throw that under your model, which I will be using these wheels on a particular model. I'm not sure exactly which one yet because I'm still making them up. But that is a MODELMIND72 how-to tip. Salad dressing, scratch built rims. Okay, just save you up 4 of them, and then you got you a nice set. Build them up, paint them up, build them up, add them to your kit. All right, so that's a quick how-to. Like I said, that's extreme. You can go 100% scratch built like that, or you can just take a wheel out of a kit. Like this came out of the '69 Plymouth Barracuda drag slick with the rim. Beautiful drag slick. And obviously I'm going to throw this. Oh shit. What the fuck? Try it. Okay, on Snow White, we've decided to go with these particular Goodyear drag slicks. We've already weathered the wheel to make it look like it's been down the track a few times. We've got our scratch built insert, and we've got our custom chrome backing. So we've actually got our scratch built rim wheel set up right here. Now we've marked our display spot. So now we're going to add it with the Dremel. Going to go at about 5,000 RPM. Nice and slow. And you can just keep going over it and massaging it till it gets to exactly the way you want it. So she's setting nice and pretty with the 5-star up top, just like we want it. Going to do that same exact thing with this one right here. We've already got our display spot marked with a marker. Alright, so you can always take off a little bit more if you need to in final stance, but there you go. You have Snow White's scratch built rim wheel set up with display spots. Or you can, get a box stock wheel rim. This particular one came out of the 1969 Barracuda, which is just a beautiful drag slick that, we're going to throw under the rear end of some special model. So there again, you have from one spectrum to the other end and everything in between. This is only limited by your creativity, guys. The more creative and imaginative you can be, the better when it comes to, you're picking out your wheels. Another quick tip, little caps that come on certain containers. You would take this, right, and then you would spray it up to make it look like this. You got your wheel, so your wheel I got like a red line going there, and then I got the inner rim painted up, and then I got like my own design going off in there with the chrome. So, you take something out of everyday, and then you make a really big, nice, fat drag slick, one-off custom scratch built piece. Okay, there you go. There's your imagination at work. There's another quick how-to MODELMIND72 secret revealed. So in this intro vid, I'm giving away some nice juicy pearls, and those who have ears to hear shall hear. Another one is this little cap right here came off something, and then it's a nice little rim all unto itself. You could take this and put it in one of these drag slicks, and look at that. Look at that. It's a perfect fit, and it's a one-off. You could throw a little chrome center cap in there if you chose, or paint it up in there, silver, black, gold, and there you go. You have another drag slick, one-off custom scratch built piece that nobody else has on their kit, which sets your piece off, away from the competition. Now, so like I say, your imagination at work here. The main thing is to have fun, be creative, enjoy the hobby. Okay, so we're going to build up this particular drag slick to show you how a display spot is actually created. So we're going to take our drag slick first, and we're going to roll it. Try to make sure your area is clear of debris as possible. Okay, we're going to roll. We're going to roll our wheel till we find a good spot. Looks like it's like in that little spot right there. Okay, so right there is going to be our display spot. So that will be the bottom of our wheel. So after we determine our display spot, we want to build up our wheel to the way it's going to look on the model, right? So we will take it, and we will add, I want my stripe to be right there seen at the bottom, along with just a little bit of the Goodyear, the last part of the Goodyear insignia. So I'm going to try to, it's giving me difficult, make sure I got where I'm looking at. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for right in this area right here. Somewhere between the stripe and the R is where my center is going to be. That's where I'm looking. That's what I'm building it to. So I'll take my mag, my 5-star, and of course I'm going to turn it with my lug nut pointing to the top of the 5-star, and place it in the wheel accordingly, like so. Well, that's what it's going to look like when we set it on the car. Now we're going to add our a display spot. Now when I'm doing my display spot, I like to run around 5,000 RPMs, but I have the variable speed Dremel, so I can kind of judge my speed. If you have a 1-speed Dremel or whatever, I would just say work as slow as you can work. In my findings, working slower, you always get better results, regardless of what it is. So that's what we got there. We got a nice, good display spot for both of our wheels. So we're ready to mount these on. We've also weathered these drag slicks to remove the seam from the factory, and also to give them a good, nice broken in look, to where like they've had a few runs on the strip, which is always a more realistic type of wheel. And another thing is, when I painted these Goodyears, I went out of my way to not paint them like accurate. You know, I actually wanted them to look a little bit off, you know, a little bit weathered, just to kind of get that broken in look. All that together, you kind of you can even put a dull coat over the whole thing afterwards if you choose. But you know, you build your model the way you want to build it. All these are just ideals to help you get there. So that is a display spot in action. So here we have our Top Fuel dragster funny car Goodyear drag slick racing Eagles. I want to go over a couple of procedures that I like to do with my drag slicks to get that final detail stance. I have a technique that I've developed called a display spot. Okay, and the display spot is actually the spot on the tire where the model sets. Okay, so normally we have the round tire, but what we're going to do is we're going to sand using our Dremel. We're going to sand a spot flat that will actually, when you put the wheel down, it will set in that display spot, and that's the way the model will be displayed. Okay, this in conjunction with all the other procedures does give you your final setting stance. Okay, another thing in building up these particular drag slicks, you can build them any way you want as far as your stance goes. Of course, you have your main wheel, right? And you can find what area on the wheel by rolling it if you want. This is one way to do it. Roll it to wherever it stops, and that could be like one of the flattest spots on the tire, and then you can choose that to be your display spot, so to speak. Then when you're adding your inner piece, you can put your stripe or your lettering really anywhere you see fit. You know, you can build this any way you want. But say you was wanting your stripe to be setting like that in that angle when it was in its final display spot, so you could set it up like that. And then also when you're putting your rim in, say you wanted your 5-star to have the the lug nut up top and the 5-star to be kind of like looking at you straight like that. Well, then you can kind of just set it in there like so. and then when it's setting on the display spot, it'll be just like that. And you put it just like that. When you mount it to the model, you mount it just like right there. That's the way you mount it. So that's one thing that I do with my drag slicks to get a final stance, overall stance in the wheel rim domain.